Hello and welcome. Today we are going to go back to the beginnings. We are going to examine the story of Adam and Eve as the first human beings or the first family on earth, according to the Bible, and that's repeated as well in the Quran. We are told that in the Garden of Eden, or in paradise, that is where everything began, where the first human beings were made, and how, according to the Bible, they sinned and they were banished from the garden, and they were blah blah blah, and then from there punishment came down to us, and from there our life was never the same. We began to suffer until today. We are told we are still suffering from the sin of Adam, called the original sin. I made a video about this original sin earlier, one of the first ones I made. You can check it out in the link at the end of this video. So today, the question is the story of Adam and Eve as the first human family, as the progenitors of the human race, as our first parents. Is it a fact or is it fiction? And I'm going to examine it from what the Bible itself says. So I don't add, I don't subtract. Yeah? So from the Bible's account itself, you're going to see for yourself, decide for yourself if it is fact or fiction. Now remember, in this channel we tell you truth, naked truth, that your pastor and your church would not want you to know. Stay tuned. Now, ordinarily one wouldn't spend too much time on a topic like this, because you would think that intelligent human beings would know that the story is not and cannot be factual. And of course, I doubt if the learned priests and bishops and archbishops of this world and educated pastors among them, if they believe or think the story is true or factual. But incidentally, many people, especially in Africa, still see this as true, as fact, as the way things actually happened. And we still teach our children the same thing. We still do it in Sunday school. We still teach them, Adam and Eve, how they ate the forbidden fruit, how the snake spoke to Eve, and that kind of stuff. So we still teach them to our children. I think that is why I'm doing this video. I think it's time we stop teaching our children this kind of thing as fact. It makes us look a bit silly. But so that is why I'm looking at this story. So we'll take it from there from the beginning. I'll begin to expand and look at other stories from there. Because the whole thing about salvation, Messiah, is rooted in this story, yeah, of Adam and Eve. So, was Adam and Eve the first human beings on earth? Were they our first parents? Was there in fact Adam and Eve? Now today I am looking at the story of Adam and Eve as the first family. In subsequent editions, different aspects of the creation story will be examined. Genesis 4:1-2 tells us that Adam and Eve were the first human beings to be created, and they had two sons. One was called Cain, and the second one, the younger, was called Abel. Genesis 4:1-2. Now, Cain killed Abel out of jealousy because they presented offerings to Jehovah, to Yahweh, or to El, whatever they call it. And the God of the Bible accepted the sacrifice of Abel and rejected the sacrifice of Cain. So Cain became jealous and murdered his brother his brother Abel. Genesis 4 verse 8. So now Cain said to his brother, let's go out to the field. And while they were in the field, Cain attacked his brother Abel and killed him. So the first murder was committed shortly after creation, according to the Bible. So Adam and Eve had two children, two sons, Cain and Abel. Cain kills Abel, and then God punishes Cain for killing Abel. So after Cain has killed Abel, of course, God of the Bible wasn't very happy about that, and he came down and pronounced punishment on Cain. So he put a curse on Cain for killing his brother and banished him from the Garden of Eden. God told Cain that he will suffer to produce his food, and that when he farmed on the land will be stubborn and will not yield abundance for him, and that he will be a wanderer and a vagabond on earth. So he was sent out from the Garden of Eden. Genesis 4, 10 to 12. Genesis 4, 10 to 12. Now, Cain wasn't very happy with his punishment, and he said, God, my punishment is too harsh. People are going to pursue me and kill me. It's too much for me to bear. So, Genesis 4, 13 to 15 says that God put a mark on the head of Cain in order to protect him from being killed by people. Genesis 4, 13 to 15, Cain said to the Lord, my punishment is more than I can bear. Today you are driving me from the land, and I will be hidden from your presence. I will be a restless wanderer on the earth, and whoever finds me will kill me. Whoever finds me will kill me. But the Lord said to him, not so. Anyone who kills Cain will suffer vengeance 7 times over. Then the Lord put a mark on Cain so that no one would kill him. So that's the first family. So the question arising from the account just presented in Genesis 4 about Cain and Abel is this: who would have killed Cain in the wilderness? Who were in the wilderness that will kill Cain? Because remember, Cain said, they will kill me if they see me wandering about. People will kill me. And the Lord said, to make sure nobody kills you, I'll put a mark on your head, and anyone who kills Cain will suffer 7 times over. If Adam and Eve, Cain and Abel, were the only human beings on earth at that time, then who would kill Cain? What would be the need to protect him from being killed by people? Who are the people? And that clearly shows that, of course, there were people in the world in other places. So, which means that Adam and Eve, Cain and Abel, from the Bible's own account, could not have been the first or the only human beings on earth. There were other peoples in other places. Yeah? Okay. Then another twist in the tale is about Cain and his family. Cain himself, the Bible says in Genesis 4:16 to 17, he went out from the Garden of Eden, from the presence of the Lord, and he went and he lived in the land of Nod, east of Eden. Cain made love to his wife, and she became pregnant and gave birth to Enoch. Cain was then building a city, and he named it after his son Enoch. So Cain left the Garden of Eden and he went to the land of Nod. That means there was a land of people somewhere near the Garden of Eden. And he took a wife from the people of Nod. And that meant Adam and Eve had in-laws immediately. Yeah? So he took a wife in the land of Nod. And that tells you clearly, of course, that there were people in the land of Nod. There were grown people there. There were old people, young people, men and women. So he married from among them and began to build his own family. If the Garden of Eden was the only place people lived, and Adam and Eve and his family and their family are the only ones around, then of course there will be no land of Nod, there will be no wife for Cain, and there will be no question of Cain having a family. Okay, the next part of the intriguing story is that Adam and Eve had another son called Seth. Genesis 4:25. Adam made love to his wife again, and she gave birth to a son, and they called him Seth, saying that God has granted me another child in place of Abel, since Cain killed Abel. So a replacement for Abel was Seth. You could see also that story in Genesis 5:3. So, and in Genesis 5:4, it says that after Seth was born, Adam lived 800 years and had other sons and daughters. So after Abel had been killed by Cain, and Cain had been banished, and Cain had taken a wife in a different land, Adam and Eve had a third son, and this one they called Seth. And then later they had other sons and daughters. And then we are told that Seth takes a wife and had children. Genesis 4:26, Seth also had a son, and he named him Enosh. The son of Cain was called Enoch, and the son of Seth was called Enosh. Genesis 5:6-7 also said that Seth begat a son called Enosh. So the question from the story about Seth is this: who was the wife that he married? Who gave him Enosh? Remember that Adam and Eve supposedly were the first family according to Genesis, but Seth was able to find a wife from somewhere. Who was the wife? From what land? We know Cain got a wife from the land of Nod, east of Eden. Probably Seth got a wife from the west of Eden or somewhere else. Or maybe Seth married one of the daughters later on given birth to by Adam and Eve. We're told in Genesis 5:4 that after Seth was born, Adam lived 800 years and had other sons and daughters. So possibly then Seth took his own sister as a wife. Now I doubt that would be necessary, considering that Cain was able to find a wife somewhere. So Seth could easily have found a wife elsewhere. But if he married his own sister, then that would be a contravention of the law that Yahweh gave to the people of Israel, and of course, which contrary to which is again the law of nature, that you cannot marry your own sister. It will be an incestuous situation to marry your own sister. Leviticus 18, verse 6 and verse 8. None of you is to come near anyone who is his close relatives to uncover their nakedness. I am the Lord. You are not to uncover the nakedness of your sister, the daughter of your father, or daughter of your mother, whether born at home or elsewhere. So it's an abomination to do so. And we cannot be told, of course, that God created a situation of abomination. So clearly, the whole story about creation is a myth. It's a story told to teach a lesson, but it's not fact. It's an expression of the understanding of the people that wrote the Bible, reflecting the understanding of the native peoples, ancient peoples. The account of creation abound. Accounts of creation abound in different cultures and traditions. So grown men and women should not be thinking this is what God did or how God did it. Nobody could say how God created the world. Nobody was there. Nobody can tell the story. So it is basically a mythical story. It's not a fact. It reminds me of the story we were told as children about the exploits of tortoise. All the tricks he used to play, including, especially the one I like, how he developed cracked shells, or a cracked shell, because he went to the skies with the birds, and the birds threw him out of the skies, and he broke his shells. As children, we believe that, but as adults, it will be stupid of me to believe that. That's a story. That's fact. So thank you for watching. Please like the video and share it, and subscribe to the channel, and leave your comments. Let's know what you think. Yeah, and next week we are going to explore more about the creation story, whether it is fact or fiction. God bless.